Good morning, students. In this lecture, I am going to discuss the storage classes in C topic, and basically, we will be covering the introduction part of this thing. So, in general, whatever we have been doing so far, we declare a variable using the syntax data type followed by variable name. Example of this is we simply use like integer x, float y. However, this is basically a incomplete declaration of a variable. The syntax for the complete declaration of a variable is first you mention the name of the storage class, then data type, and finally it is the variable name. The storage class of a variable basically tells us the following 4 points. First is the storage place, that is the where the variable will be stored in, that is RAM, or it will be stored in a CPU register. The second point that the storage class of a variable tells is the default initial value. It can be either garbage value or 0 depending upon which storage class you are using. The third thing is the scope of the variable, whether it is local or global. And finally, the storage class tells about the lifetime of the variable. That is, whether the variable continue to exist only within the function or until the end of the main program. So there are four storage classes in C language. First is auto, then extern, then static, and finally it is the register storage class. The complete syntax for declaring a variable with data type and storage classes as shown below. Examples are static integer x, register integer y. Static is the name of the storage class, int is the data type, and x is the name of the variable. Register is the name of the storage class, int is the data type, and y is the variable name. So the thing is that what advantage does we have in declaring a variable without storage class and in declaring a variable with storage class? When we declare a variable without storage class, for example int text float y, we simply defines two things. One is the size of data that can be stored in the variable, and second is the range of data that can be stored in the variable. In professional programming, the programmers need more control over the variables. So, in addition to specifying the data range and the amount of memory that will be allocated to the variable, they also need to control the following four things, that is, where the variable should be stored, either in RAM or in CPU register, what should be the default initial value, whether it should be a garbage value or 0, what should be the scope of the variable, it should be local or global, and what should be the lifetime of the variable, whether within the function only or until the end of the main program. So in order to achieve this particular task, we need to declare the variable not only along with data type but also along with the storage class. For example is static int x, register int y. So in the next video, I will be discussing in detail the various features of the four storage classes that we have discussed so far. Thank you.